So today I'm going to introduce to you guys our Spark coach. Her name is Raven O'Neill. She is helping women do business better. So this is perfect for all of us. In her role as the executive director of Stella Labs and co-chair of Women's Ventures Summit, she provides founders with strategic solutions, marketing acumen, resources, and information around access to capital, so they can launch and scale their businesses. Alongside the Stella Labs team, she has empowered more than 500 female-led startups and helped facilitate more than 80 million in funding. So, with no further ado, let us all welcome Miss Raven. Hey.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it with us. I guess I'm just going to dive into a little bit about me. So, as Micah had explained, I run a female focused business accelerator in the United States. We focus on helping women launch, scale, and fund their businesses, along with events around access to capital. Really aligned with Join the Journey, we do the exact same thing. We help educate female founders and then help them fund their businesses for success. My founder journey, I am a founder several times over before taking on the executive director position at Stella Labs. In 2012, I launched a marketing agency, but also had what we consider here in the United States as ideation. I had an idea for a business that had not been seen before. I was introduced to our founder, who I believe has actually talked to you guys before. Her name is Dr. Sylvia Ma. And I was connected with her. I went through this exact program that we now offer that I run and was taught all of the business verticals to launch a business. We cover financial analysis, projections, revenue streams, market potential, all of the verticals you would need to write a business plan. And I went through that program, and then I went on to pitch investors and go through that process. And in the end, 9 years later, actually it would be 8 years later, I was offered the position to take over her nonprofit, Stella Labs, and I accepted. And so that is how I got here. Having supported her through the past 8 years, I became intimately, I gained an intimate understanding of what it takes to launch a business. And now I support founders through that process. So that's really how I got here. Today, I just wanted to offer you guys support by really going over some fun ways to set goals, and then also entrepreneurial mindset around community, which I love that you actually have joined the journey there and you guys come together in this group and support your business growth. Because really, I was going to dive into the importance of community, but I'm going to assume that you guys probably know that. I was going to talk about the entrepreneurial journey. One thing people don't talk about in entrepreneurship is how lonely it can be. There's all this glamour around entrepreneurship. You don't have to work full time, or especially in the United States, it's, the Elon Musks of the group, they don't have to work full time. They make exorbitant amount of money. And it's really glamorous to be an entrepreneur. And the truth is, it's really not. It's really difficult. You have to run your business, be in your business, and do all the things. You don't have the support of a major team, like a big team. So we really talk a lot at Stella Labs about the importance of community, and that is just coming together and sharing of the minds, talking through your business ideas, your struggles, all of that, and really found each other. So I'm really happy that you got there with Join the Journey in Zambia. And I really hope that you guys are able to take advantage of that. So that was really what I was going to talk about in regards to community, but it seems like you guys have it covered. So if you have any questions later on about community, I'm happy to answer. I guess we can dive into goal setting, which is really fun. One thing I love about the goal setting program we do at Stella Labs is we do it all on paper. So I know that access to technology in Zambia is a little bit more difficult. So the great thing is we do all of our goal setting with our founders on paper. So one thing we start out with is, hold on, let me get my notes, So we do goals by reverse engineering our goals. We start off with State of the Union. I'm not sure in regards to Join the Journey what kind of access you guys have, but I'm happy to send this particular package that we work from. It's printable. I don't know if you guys could use that, but I'm happy to send the copy that I'm going to work from. So we really start off with, it's called the State of the Union. And we really ask our founders to look at, what do I love to do? What should I be doing that I'm good at? What do I hate to do? And what shouldn't I be doing? And we do this really to exemplify that in an entrepreneurial world, if you can get the support to not do the things you don't like and you're not good at it, it really supports your growth. So a perfect example, I'll use myself. I am really good at ideas. I'm highly creative. I come up with great ideas, but I will really delay actually doing my financials, bookkeeping. I like it's the last thing I want to do. So it's the last thing I do. So if I could get the support of someone that can handle that and kind of someone that's really good at that, then I can trade them the creative side. They need marketing assistance. So it's just really that support system, but really looking at, if you have the opportunity, which not everyone does, really looking at what I do well, what I like to do, what I don't like to do, and what I don't do well, and really figuring out how to work in the space that supports you best there. Then next, we really like to look at our mission and our vision. In our system, we call it the North Star. So ours is supporting female founders in a community through launch and access to capital. So it's our North Star. Whenever we find ourselves falling away from that, we try to go back to, we're here to support women in business. So that's our North Star. We always ask our founders to discover what their North Star is. So depending on what your business is, it might be support other women through healthy meals or whatever, like access to children's clothing, whatever that is for your business in Zambia, like really focusing on what the underlying thing. Yes, you're there as an entrepreneur to make money and to feed your family and do the work, but really focusing on that underlying goal. And then with that, we follow that up with the external perspective. So our internal perspective is, this is what we do and why we do it. The external perspective is really looking at, my clients say the following things about my business, and really knowing what they think of you so that you can continually deliver on the expectation. And then also what I'm known for. And we ask our entrepreneurs to really know what their company is worth. If I were to look at acquisition, what could I sell this for? So that you always know the worth of your company. So that's really what we start with. Then we work backwards on goal setting. So we set a 5-year goal. I'm going to use us as an example of our 5-year goal. Our 5-year goal is to fund 25 female founders. That's through our angel investing arm. So in 5 years, I want to be funding 25 female founders every year. Then I want to trickle that down to high touch, high touch, which is really working closely with our entrepreneurs. I would like to help at least 200 female founders in a high touch environment. Lower touch, just allowing them to have access to our information and to what we offer. I would probably focus it on, let's say 500. I haven't really thought that one out, but let's say 500 founders that I want to allow them to come into our community and use some of our resources. So that's my 5-year goal. So I set that 5-year goal, I would write that down on my piece of paper, and then I will work down to a 1-year goal. What 1-year goal can I set that helps me get to that 5-year goal? So 1-year goal is, let's say those 25 founders, I'm going to focus on 12. We're going to hopefully do 12 next year. That's really what we're focusing on, funding 12 founders. That will help us get to the 25 because it helps us understand what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong in that process to really make it work down the line. Then I will, that 1-year goal for high touch founders, let's say next year, 50 is probably doable. And then the next level would be the low touch founders, and let's say 250. If I can get 250 women in our community with access to that information, then that's a successful goal. So then we have 5-year, 1-year, Then we break it down into 12 months. These are our 12 months, January through December. What do we do each month to then help us reach that 1-year goal that we had set? So really working backwards to break it down. And then we take it from there and break it down into a weekly goal. So like this week, I am going to work with my dev team to make sure they are on track to launch our platform to support those low touch founders. In a monthly goal, it would be by, let's say, September. I'm setting the goal of September to have that habit tested. So it's just working backwards from those goals. And that's really how we set our goals here. We work on SMART goals. I'm not sure how familiar everyone is with SMART goals, but SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So whenever you set your goals, you want to be really, really specific. So you want to say, I'm setting this goal because I want to accomplish this, or I'm setting this because I want to do it in this time frame. It's just being really specific. Measurable is what would be success to me. So obviously, if I'm setting a goal of touch, like having a relationship with all those founders and funding those founders, a measurable success would be the numbers I actually set. I was very specific about the numbers. Attainable is how am I going to do it? And does it describe a result? So really saying I can reach that goal through these things. Realistic is being really realistic. I did set some really high goals there, but I also think they're realistic. If I was fine tuning them, I would get really, really realistic and be like, okay, well, next year we're hoping to fund 12 founders, and within 5 years, 25 founders. Is that feasible? Then I would really go back and look at our financials. Can we actually do that? Is that realistic? And then timely is, can it happen in the time frame I've set? And is it doable within the time frame of 1 year? Well, 1 year broken down by 12, by week, by 12 months, by 1 year, and then to 5 year. And that's really how we set goals. And I'm happy to share our goal setting documentation with everyone so that you can work through that. I was unsure of whether you were actually going to have pencils and paper and be able to do it with me. So maybe some other time we can hop on and I'll do it with you. And that's what I have.
Yeah, awesome. Good stuff right there. Or maybe Raven, we can actually give them time, maybe they have some ideas or they have some goals ready, and then they can talk about it and you can share some thoughts or ideas about it. What do you think?
Absolutely.
All right. Jim. Maybe we can have some little activity here. Either we can, they can share their story, like or they can share their goals and with Raven, and maybe Raven can put some inputs or like thoughts, advices with them. We can give them a couple of minutes if they need to write it down, or they can just start talking about it, whichever works for everyone. Jim, I think you're muted. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So munga bijanga tumufuna for example, tintu munga takuna makamba tumufuna in business. For example, tumufuna kugula fridge this year, for example. Munga kamba to this year inaweza mimi nifuna kuchita chene nifuna kugula fridge o nifuna kumanga nyumba o nifuna kukulisa nyumba o chamene chamene nzirapo this year nifuna kupeleka mwana wanga ku school. So chimangara ko munga na maplani ticha chamene muganza mwene wake inkanza mezeri hapa hivi. So aliyense mtu amafuni kumkara kuna chamene asebenzerapo chene mani konkai. So I'm sure once a team and Karako and plan here, so Munga, for example, this is Munga from but this thing at by the most of us in the future, which that was just so child.
Yeah, Jim, just to add up, maybe if they have 5-year plan, that'll be awesome too, Mhm.
Huh? Fridge. Enggak mo. So, enggak mo.
This is great. We have a discussion.
Fácil. No, enggak mo. Enggak mo. Ano? Enggak mo. Oh, okay. So just from the brief, we have we just had a brief discussion. So most people, there's some ladies here who are planning to buy a piece of land, like that's what their top goal like for this year. Then we have another lady who has already has a piece of land, wants to build a small structure. We've got two ladies that the immediate goal is to buy a refrigerator, one for home, and the other lady is to buy a refrigerator for the business. So it's just some type of brief of just to summarize on what their main goals are for like now.
Jim, I'm sorry. I'm not sure if it is my connection. I you're cutting up. Is it my connection, everyone? Sorry.
No, I it's just hard to hear. I
Okay.
feel bad. He's wearing a mask, which I
Okay.
love.
Yeah.
So I was explaining
Okay.
that we just had a brief chat where they were just on top of their heads just to think of what their immediate goals are. So just to summarize, I think we've got two ladies that say they want to buy a piece of land, and then there's one lady who has a piece of land already, but she wants to build a small house. And then we've got two ladies that said that they want to buy a refrigerator, one for business and the other one for home. So I think that's a summary of what they want to, what the brief, in general, just what these are
General.
yeah.
How about Jim? Let's call each of them, introduce themselves and maybe introduce their businesses, and then, like kind of give us that brief, goal they have. Maybe Raven can input something, instead of like, jumping into like buying this. Maybe there's few steps that they can do to make their business grow, something like that. Any volunteers to start with?
If it's easier to, I can always address it as a whole. All three of those were based around buying something or purchase, like doing something that is going to financially impact our business. Oh,
I think we have a volunteer, and then we can do that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Let's get it on.
Talante somsa kamba mumma kamba chizo. Ningesha chabudu sana.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
What's your name?
My name is Doris Mwanza.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, nice. Lovely.
Kama nifuna ine nifuna. I want to buy a land this year. If I work, I want to buy a land because I don't have a house to stay. I'm renting. So I want to work hard and buy a piece of land.
So if you had that land, what would you do with that land? Were you also hoping to build a home? I know that someone had built a home. I don't know if those were two separate instances.
I want to build the house.
Mhm. Would you run your business out of your house, or is that separate?
There's some extra business. Business in market.
The business is in the market. Okay. Just
Uh,
making sure. So this was a personal goal, which I love, because you should always have personal goals with your business goals. So have you looked at land? Do you know how much money you would need to purchase land?
4,000. Yeah.
So I am not sure of your financial situation, but the way I would approach this is knowing that the land was going to cost me 4,000. I would look at my income. Is there a place I could save even a penny, whatever that is, for a certain time frame to then build it? I mean, it's difficult if you don't have a way to save, or if your income doesn't meet that expectation. And I don't know your situation, such as, can you take out a loan to buy said land? Ideally, it would be really great if that land, in a perfect world, that land would also have some way to create an additional revenue stream, such as, selling grass. I am not sure what that land looks like, but here I'm in Texas, but people will buy land and they will still have a job or a business, but they will buy enough land that they can then sell the grass for hay, or sell eggs if they have chickens on the property. It's just an additional revenue stream that offsets the cost of their mortgage. I don't know if that was helpful at all. Are you able to save for purchasing said land?
Yes.
Do you know how long it would take you to to your
Installment. You pay installment.
Micah, did you catch
pay
that?
yes, installment, like
installment.
Gotcha, an installment. And so it's probably different for you, but whatever that installment is, being able to make sure to pay that. And can you pay it off sooner? Can you so do you know how long it's going to take you to gain the money to even make the install? Are you ready to buy now?
Yeah, demand. First thing we are about to have one thing. Can be one thing manje we are about to in 6 months. You pay installment for 7 months. I won't pay that. You pay installment in 7 months. First pay 1,000. The remaining 1 month you pay slow.
So I would spend the next 6 to 7 months. I think that's what you said your timeline was.
Yes.
Setting as much money as you possibly can and still making payments on everything else.
Yes.
I don't know what your ability is, but I always function in my own life, the answer is no unless you ask. So I don't know if you can ask for a reduction in your rent, that's probably a no, because that is with most landlords, but just finding ways, like unique and creative ways to save an extra dollar here and there to put towards your land. I would, if it were me, I would say, okay, I'm going to buy this land in 6 months. This is how much I have to have as a down payment or monthly fees on, you said it's installment. So whatever that installment is, and I would work backwards from those financials and say, okay, each month I need to save this much money to put towards that. And I also need to know that I need to be generating X amount of revenue in my business to then pay for that monthly installment. But I know that that's not super helpful because I don't exactly know which numbers you're playing with.
What you think?
Ndaba kusiyana siyana ungaone vitu vingi pasa
Support amaje tutandizire ni kizungu. So kwa sila nichoke. Okay, bye.
I don't know if that was helpful at all.
It was a Raven. Actually, that was good. You know, like something probably she's gonna like think of if she can, you know, afford, you know, buying a land versus if it's gonna give her revenue. I mean, income. Thank you.
It's always nice. Thank you. It is always nice when you can tie the two together, right?
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't know Zambian business tax laws, but there's in the United States you can play with all those numbers. But
I know. Yeah. All right. Tim, do we have another one? I think you mentioned someone that wanted to buy a freezer to probably grow her business. Yeah. Awesome.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Selina Daka.
Nice to meet you. So you want to buy a refrigerator?
Yes.
Do we know how much that refrigerator would cost, and then how much that would potentially increase your ability to create revenue? The way I would approach this one is I would look at
It's $4,500.
$4,000 for
$1.
$1, 4,000, whatever the Zambian money. Is that the same price as the land? I'm so confused.
I thought I heard 500. Was it 500 or 4,000?
4,500.
4,500.
Oh, 4,500. Same price as the land.
The land is less expensive. That's probably, wow, that's the most unique thing I've ever heard.
Me too.
So 4,500 for a refrigerator. I would then, so I am not sure whether you have an add up with Join the Journey for said refrigerator funding, but
you see, not
for the loan. But
for the loan.
When I work hard, it's when I can go buy.
I'm not 100% sure on that conversion rate from US dollars to 4,500.
Raven,
Yeah.
actually, it is $200.
Yeah,
200 for a
Yeah.
refrigerator.
Yeah,
Okay.
I converted it. Yeah.
Wow, that was fast. So $200 for a refrigerator. And so I personally think that knowing that you're going to grow your business as someone who works with Join the Journey, just knowing that that refrigerator would help you grow your business is enough to pull at my heartstrings. But let's say it doesn't pull at my heartstrings and someone else is looking. It is really nice to know let me rewind. So if you buy the refrigerator, whatever that numerical increase is in your the stock, you can what is the word I'm looking for? Words escaping me right now. Whatever your product is, your ability to then store it and increase your sales, whatever that conversion is, would be really nice to know.
Hello.
Such as I am. Oh,
Hello. Fridge for domestic.
What is saying is for domestic use.
You're muted, Mika.
Sorry. Yeah, thanks. We're unable to hear you, Chim. I'm sorry.
I'm saying the refrigerator is for domestic use. It's not for the business.
oh,
Oh, okay.
gotcha. Can you make installments on that?
Maybe I can. It's a
Read by installment.
So the payment is done on lay-by. Also an installment plan.
I missed that. I'm so sorry.
It's on lay-by.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on lay-by. How many months?
Installment.
So yeah, so the refrigerator is sold on. She's going to purchase it using on lay-by in 6 equal installments.
Okay. Does she have the money to make those installments? And if not, maybe I would suggest working to then figure out how much she has to increase her income or her revenue if she in her business to then be able to make up that cost. If that's not the answer, I'm not sure of again the like policies there, but maybe asking if you can extend the installment time and decrease the monthly amount as a workaround. I mean, this would totally depend on what the installment plan looks like and how much money we actually have to put towards the refrigerator. But breaking it down, I mean, honestly, buying goals are difficult if you have a goal to buy something and you don't have the money. So then you have to get really creative with finding the money, either in ways of saving or negotiating terms of the installments. That, I mean, that's how I would approach it. I would first see, do I have the money? Yes or no. If I don't have the money, then could I save this much money to then buy it in whatever that time frame is? Like, let's look at the 6 months, 3 months, whatever that is. And then depending on what that looks like, I would then, if it's possible, go back to whoever's selling the refrigerator and ask about the installment terms. I don't know what it's like in Nambia, but in the US, you can usually, it's like buying a home. You can go with a 30-year, 15-year, whatever that is. And the length of time the payment is will then affect what the monthly payment is. And just maybe figuring out if there's a workaround there. That was a lot of information. I'm sorry.
No. It's good. It's good.
That is how I would approach it. And it's like that whole story, like you get to this spot, is it yes or no? Can I afford the refrigerator? Yes, no. Like in this moment, then if it's yes, great. Figure out a way to make that work and purchase that refrigerator. If it's a no, then what does it take to down the line to get there?
Yeah.
I feel like this is not helpful.
It is no. It's like saying you can afford it or not, especially, if it is something for personal use. I think, yeah.
And I don't know if it's like, again, it'd be really interesting to look at like their tax system, their financial. I did not look at its financial infrastructure really, is, business versus personal.
Mhm.
Can you be like the United States and have a business entity and buy personal stuff under it and write it off? Like there's
Mhm.
all kinds of interesting ways to do things, but without
Mhm.
knowing their financial infrastructure.
Mhm. But Raven, just to kind of ask you, maybe our entrepreneurs could relate. Let's say they're starting their own business. Is it really recommendable, or is it okay to buy this personal stuff that you wanted? Like, I mean, they're essential, but still, it's personal. But you're starting a business. Is it okay to buy those? Like, you know
I'm
what I mean? You know what I mean? Because, you're just starting your business, and, I just want to know, maybe our Zambians, our entrepreneurs could relate with it.
that's such a loaded question, right?
I know, because
um,
I'm kind of right in between as well. So, I believe our entrepreneurs too, could actually relate into that. You have so much, you want this, but at the same time, you're starting your own business. So,
yeah.
yeah.
There are so many ways you could fry this fish, like literally. First of all, from a business side, I'm supposed to tell you, no, that's not a good idea. But there are, like, here in the United, like, we do it all the time, right? As long as that like little piece of your house is used for business, you can then write it off. You can then validate it. So let's say it is that refrigerator and you're going to use it for personal use. 10% of that fridge is going to be for your business. I personally think that that's a great way to start out. But from a legal business perspective, it's a no-no. Especially not knowing their tax laws. Because again, here you can, use a certain square footage for business and then write that off of your mortgage in your taxes. So it all comes down to like what the government views as okay or not okay. And I think they can cross-pollinate as long as you're really clear on what it's being used for, such as how much of it is being used for business and does that meet your business needs. So not knowing anything, I would say that it's a great way to get it done if they can cross and you can validate it. And like, I wouldn't, from a business perspective, if I was funding these loans, I wouldn't mind if it was personal, as long as some of it was business, if it was going under the business entity.
Oh, gotcha. Like, if they, yeah, as you've termed, crossed it, like maybe they can use it for personal and business as well. Okay.
Yeah, but there are plenty of people that buy like in the United States, founders will have cars and it will be under the business entity, but it's used for all kinds of stuff. So
Mhm.
it just really depends on how it sits with you and how everybody that's going to look at it looks at it.
Awesome. Yeah, great. And also, just to add up, like, someone said she wanted to buy a land, right?
Mhm.
Because she's currently renting right now.
Yes.
But at the same time, I think she wanted to start her own business. Um, is this like renting? Like, is renting really a waste of money rather than having, like, having a house, or having a house will save you more? Maybe they could, yeah, see that point as
I
well.
love all these questions. They're again fully like they're they're loaded. In my mind, rent is always a difficult process. You're paying someone else money to live in that sense. So a mortgage is all mortgage, whatever it's called in Zambia. Owning that property is always really, really, really nice because then you have ownership. You're putting money in your own, like you're spending money on your own endeavors. The only problem there is that you were the only one responsible. So perfect. I always say home ownership is a little overrated because if your roof is faulty, then like you can't go say, hey, fix my roof. You have to pay for it. Or, if something breaks, it's on you. So I would say land and home ownership is also that, can I afford it when things are not great? No matter what, I think most places in the world, rent is way higher than your home payments would be. Like and it's really nice to put that money back in your own pocket. In the United States, you get to write off taxes, you get to get all these breaks, you get to do all these things. So there is that incentive to buy and there is that sense of ownership. So I always think that that's a good choice. And just think, if her rent is that high and she buys that property, that money she saves on herself can then go back to her business or back to whatever it is that she wants to save for that money. But again, you have to cover things. And I think maybe, and I'm not sure of the situation in Zambia, but it is really nice to say, if I'm going to buy this land, whatever that land is there a way to then generate revenue off of it? I'm not sure because it sounded like the cost of the refrigerator was the same cost as the land. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that land then looks like. Are there tax laws? Like, are there tax laws there where if you have this land and you have this home on the land and you're running a certain amount of business, can you then write that off in taxes? So then you're almost like, now you've got the land, you're not paying someone else to live on the land, but then you can double dip and then write off or get money back on doing business out of that home, which you can't do if you rent usually.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Good info for sure. Even me, I kind of got enlightened about it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Jim, do we have any questions? Do you have any questions? Anyone wanted to say something? Ask Raven. Let's take advantage of this.
Bagay na mafunzo. No, good.
Good. Awesome. Any final words for you, Raven? Any advices about goals, how to even this pandemic has been like, it's been affecting all of us. How, like, any final words about your goals? Yeah.
Well, in regards to goals, it's really nice that some of you set personal goals. It's really great to have a personal goals bucket and a business goals bucket. And with those, it's nice when they cross-pollinate, such as being able to use a lot of those home purchases in ways that might help your business. Business goals are really, really nice because as you grow your business, ideally you grow your income and then your personal wealth grows and you're able to then also buy all of those goals, all the personal goals, put that money into your personal goals. And then really, it seems like you guys have a great community of female founders there. Meet up and work on these things together. You guys could do a great goal setting session together or bounce ideas off of each other. We like to come together as entrepreneurs in our group and say, what are your challenges? And everybody in the group offers one way challenge so that you then have, let's say there are 10 of you in the room, you have 9 different ideas on how to address whatever you're up against. Or if you're setting that goal, how to achieve that goal. It's not just one person telling you how they would do it. You have 9 people. That's probably it. If you guys need anything, feel free to have Join the Journey reach out. I'm happy to support in any way I can.
Yeah. Awesome, Raven. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. If probably if they have question, they can ask Chim, and then Chim will just message me and I'll forward to you, Raven.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, awesome. All right, so maybe we can have a group photo. Everyone could
Yeah. Ba't ka social distancing to Zain? Ako, fechado.
Social distancing, yeah.
Como que foi mandar e-mail para Simone aqui?
Right. Yeah, we can stand. Yeah, and then one back. All right.
Exato.
April, you want to do the honors of taking a picture?
Sure.
Yay, you're in the middle.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Okay. You
Okay,
count to three.
Yes. Okay. Count of three. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay. Another
Okay.
one.
One more.
One more. Wait a moment. Just going to get something.
My shoulders back.
Okay. Okay. Are you ready, guys?
Yes.
Great. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay. But you can also take a screenshot there, Micah, if you want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Raven. That was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and I wish you all the best success.
Sabi ko, sabi ko, niya pa, sabi.
Not sure what Jim said. All right. Thank you so much, Jim. Thank you so much